Your app has customer data and you need it in a spreadsheet to update an external system, or you have customer data from an external system, but you need to get it into your app. Here's how to build both in Zite with just a couple of prompts. We'll do export first, then import. Each one only takes a few minutes. I'm Zach from InterDev Solutions. Our channel shows you how to streamline operations with automation and AI. If you need direct help, you can visit our website, interdevsolutions.com. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to ask Zite to add an export button that downloads the customer data as a CSV and an import button that bulk creates customers from a CSV file into the Zite database, all without writing any code yourself. And it includes the exact fields and columns that you're looking for. We're going to start on the customers page. If I click customers here, this is where I want to put the export button. Basically, I want to add an export button somewhere up here. When I select that, that will download the CSV with all of the data from the customers database. I click database, select customers. I want to download basically this file right here. I want to do this from the U, and I can get specific about the fields that I want included. And here's the exact prompt I'm going to be using. And you can do this in a few different ways. I can type it in here if I want. Also, very quickly, there's this build, plan, and chat. These are different modes depending on basically the complexity of the feature that you're trying to add. Quite often it makes sense to plan it or chat with the app before executing this, but this is pretty straightforward. I know exactly what I want, so I'm just going to remain in build mode. I'm going to click dictate, and that way I can just speak to Zite and it will add the prompt for me. Add an export customers button that exports the following fields from the database for all customers, including name, contact info, billing address, shipping address, and download it as a CSV file. Okay, so it's added the prompt here. I can go ahead and submit it now. And within a few minutes, it should add this button for us and we can test it at that point in time. And something else that's really cool about Zite is when we add filters, we can also ask the CSV build to take into consideration the filters that have been applied. These files can be dynamic as well. For example, right here, I have a prompt that's just basically asking Zite to add a filter that takes into consideration the status of the customers. If I jump into the database quick, we can see we have a status field with active and inactive customers. Go back into the app. In customers, I'm just going to give this a quick refresh. In the customers tab, we have active and inactive statuses. And now we have a dynamic filter. So I click active, it will filter active customers and inactive customers. If I filter the active customers within this prompt, I also asked it to take into consideration this status on the export. So now I'm going to go ahead and click export CSV. And if it works properly, we should see a list that replicates this one right here. Now I've opened up the CSV file and we can see that we only have 6 or 7 actual customers in the list now, and these are all our active customers. That's something else that's really neat about Zite. The same idea works on any table in your app. So I can show you this within the purchase orders as well. Same process, different table. I'm going to ask Zite to export purchase orders. That's going to include PO number, customer name, order date, really whatever you want from the purchase order, and it can put that in a CSV for you. This time I'm going to add it to the purchase orders view, and I'm just going to paste in a prompt just saying export the following field from the purchase order table, downloaded as a CSV file. I'm going to submit that. Again, within about a minute or two here, we should have a new button that allows us to export the purchase order records. Okay, now we've got our export CSV in the purchase orders. So let's go ahead and export this CSV. And when I open it, we have the CSV based off of what we requested, including the PO number, customer name, order total, and the statuses. If we need this reporting functionality for really whatever reason, we are able to build this quite quickly and easily in Zite. Now we can go the other direction. If we want to upload a CSV to create customers in bulk, we can do that. We'll navigate over to customers. And one thing to note is whether we can export Excel files at this point. Currently, we can only export CSVs, but you're able to open them in Excel or Google Sheets anyway. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Maybe at some point in time, we'll be able to export Excel files. However, one other thing to note is we can actually integrate with Google Sheets as well. If we want to pass some of this data to Google Sheets, whether that's via the integration or some other form of automation, we can go ahead and do that as well. When we're creating this import functionality, the CSV, we want it to match the expected column format. To make that easy, we'll actually ask Zite to include a downloadable template right inside the import module. Anyone using the app knows exactly what the upload should look like without having to guess. Here's the prompt we're going to work with. I've pasted it in here. We're going to say add an import customers button that accepts the CSV file with the following columns: name, contact info, billing address, shipping address. Create a new customer record for each row. Include a downloadable template CSV so users know the expected format before uploading. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. And again, within a couple of minutes, we will see the button appear in our UI and we can test it. Now we can see we have an import CSV button and we have a template here as well. The template is going to work very similarly to the export CSV button. However, this is just going to give us our template headers. I'm going to go ahead and download the template and add a couple of sample records. Here's the template here. It's got a sample record in there for us already to show us what the format it is expecting. I will quickly add just one additional row for testing purposes. I've added some additional information to it. I'm just going to save it quickly and we can go ahead and import this. I'll go into the import CSV and select the file that I want to import. Click open, it's showing importing here, and we can see it successfully imported to customers. If I scroll down to the bottom, we can see it did import the Acme Corp and the company one that existed in that template file. That's the import and export functionality, both built by just describing what you want. Same pattern works on any table within your application. That's it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future. And if you have any questions or need any help with Zite or any of the other tools and AI integrations, feel free to reach out at interdevsolutions.com.